This is the story of how I managed to find the ever so interesting story of exactly what was going on in this absolutely insane world. Now, I know that is a very interesting start to the story, but like I said, something was wrong with this world, and I figured out first because lots of people were looking up and something was just wrong with the clouds. I mean, it's very hard to see now, but definitely, trust me, there was something scary and something wrong. I couldn't tell at first, but eventually I managed to find out exactly what was wrong. Now, of course, as you guys can see, I'm walking through the village. I don't really know what was going on too much at first, but then, of course, this was exactly what was going on. As you guys can all see right here, this is essentially the Minecraft village. But look at it. The village is bare, and we have like 6 or 7 villagers that I wasn't even paying attention to at the time that were looking straight up. Now, of course, I was simply survival orientated, but eventually I realized, wait a minute, all these crops are gone. Villagers are looking straight up. Nothing is going right. Let me be a little bit more analytical, because what's even stranger is that nobody is even inside as well, which is very, very interesting. So, of course, I decided to make sure I was focused on those villagers as well, because they were looking up, and I was like, okay, if they're looking up, then it must mean that either they're doing neck exercises or they're looking at something that's definitely in the sky. When I gave it a look, I was realizing exactly what was going on. These villagers were staring straight up at the sky, what appeared to be the rather strangest cloud formation I'd ever seen. I'd never seen anything like it, and it was truly, truly scary. I mean, I was someone that knows Minecraft clouds can sometimes, in rare cases, be a bit strange, but this was definitely something else. When I asked the first villager, he mentioned that he didn't know exactly what it was, and he wasn't exactly sure what it was either, which was definitely a scary sight, because of course it is looking exactly down on them, and I've never seen anything that big and that crazy looking down on me before. So of course I was truly scared, and the villager agreed with me. It doesn't look normal at all. This is definitely a very scary scenario to be in. So I decided that, of course, it would be best if I made sure I could look up and figure out exactly what it was. Now, after more examination, I realized that what I was looking at was, I guess you could say, a skull formation. I wasn't sure why, but it meant that I could now understand that, I guess you could say, something was truly wrong. So I don't know where this skull came from. I wasn't exactly sure why there was a skull there, but I just knew that the skull clearly had done something to the village, because there were no resources in this village at all. Not in the chests, not in the villagers. The villagers didn't want to trade. So I knew that things weren't just you know, strange. They were more than strange, because of course something stranger had even happened. So I knew that I needed to make sure that whatever it is I found it with quickness, and I got a solution as quick as possible. This was where the story really took a turn for the worst, because I was like, okay, whatever is going on in this village is definitely pretty strange, but I noticed that there was a very rich resource underneath the ground, and at first I was like, maybe that's what this omnipotent, crazy creature, skull, cloud, whatever, maybe that's exactly what he wants. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead, mine some of these diamonds, and I'm going to go ahead and get out of there. I don't know what these villagers are playing at, but I am not going to be the guy who waits here and simply, I don't know, when the rockets or the devils come down from wherever. I was like, I'm just simply not going to be here. I'm going to get out of here whilst I still can. So, of course, that was my game plan, but as you're about to see, it didn't exactly happen straight away. So I was, you know, getting out of this cave, and I was like, all right, let's get out of this cave. We're simply done here. 24 diamonds. This was a steal. What a great find. But something happened upon me leaving. You're about to see, after I mined this last diamond, I noticed that things began to be rather strange, and it was definitely a little bit scary, because I only missed this by, I think, around 2 or 1 minutes. So as I'm leaving the mine, I'm like, all right, let me just go ahead and make sure that this village isn't absolutely insane. So I was like, all right, what is going on here? What are these guys doing? And you're about to see that whatever the cloud was clearly came down, because every single villager that was looking up had just instantly died. And I wasn't sure why they died, but I'd noticed that they did. This was definitely truly scary, because what had happened to these villagers? I mean, some of them weren't dying. And the villager that I spoke to, he asked me, where was I? Where was I? What was I doing? And of course, like I said, I was just in the mine. I was just making sure that whatever happened, happened. And he asked me, how did I not die? And of course, I told him I was simply in the mines, mining away, not doing too much. But unfortunately, something strange occurred. He said that they came from above. Whatever beings were above the world, they came down, and they came down with a very, very large force, which was truly, truly scary. And as you can all see, somehow this world was truly dangerous, much more dangerous than we'd initially thought. And that was the scary thing. Things were much more dangerous than we'd ever imagined before. So I decided that whatever this was, it was definitely something that I didn't want to be a part of. But at the same time, I had to get a solution as soon as possible, because I didn't know exactly how to solve this problem, but I knew that one way or another, there was going to be a time where these guys would definitely attack me. So I decided that I would talk to these villagers who seemed to be guarding something. So when I spoke to them, he said we captured one of the beings, and this was a very good sign, because it meant that these villagers were working and they actually managed to capture something which would give me an insight into what managed to come down. And he said it's inside this prison. As you're about to see the first creature that we've ever caught in Minecraft that has come down from the heavens to speak to us. Now, of course, it was definitely very hard to see because this prison was weirdly shaped and we couldn't really get the right angle on it. So I decided to break this open a little bit so that I could see what this strange creature was. And of course, as you all can see, it looked very strange. It just looked like it came from a huge different dimension. I'm not even sure where or what or how, but I didn't want anything to do with this thing at all because it was crazy. Now, the guard villagers said, we do not know what he's made of. And in my head, I was thinking, yeah, I mean, I would not know exactly what this guy's made of at all because this is definitely pretty scary. So, of course, I was thinking, what is going on here and what can we really do? But he was telling us that we should stay underground, which is definitely pretty scary for me because I didn't know exactly why he was saying to stay underground. But if the upper area isn't safe and this death-looking creature, a skull servant or whatever it may be, is telling us to go underground, then I was willing to listen to his cues. Now, what was even scarier is that as we captured one of the beings, outside there were 6 or 7 beings, and he just simply didn't even ask. He simply demanded that he was going to take the villagers with him, which is truly a scary, scary thing. So a lot of the stuff they were saying didn't even make sense, but I decided that, you know what, maybe I should just give these guys what they want because this is truly scary. They have an entire army and I cannot deal with this entire situation by myself. There are only 2 villager guards. I barely have any diamonds that I just got, and if these guys want the villagers, then let me just give them villagers and see exactly what happens. So whatever army of these skull servants that they were, I decided that I would take a quick leave, and I was actually thankful that these guys weren't hurting me like they hurt the villagers. Then of course I received my second order from these people. They said that I should leave the village, and I was like, alright, you know what, maybe I just will. So for a short amount of time, I decided it would be best if I just left the village. Straight up, just left. Now of course I didn't want to become the next victim, so I decided that yeah, why not just leave for the short amount of time that we have left. So I quickly walked away and I managed to eat a golden apple quickly because I just wanted to make sure that everything was going to be safe. Then I managed to come back. Now, when I came back, this was something that was even more interesting because, of course, coming back in here, it's very, very scary. Now, of course, as you guys are about to see, when I came back, they said that the adults were taken. And what was scary is that the village children were the only ones that were left. And I didn't really know what to do, so I simply just ran away once again.